Good day, gamers. This is Trist, playing Shroud of the Avatar, spiritual successor to Ultima Online. And before I get started, don't forget to subscribe. And if you like what you're seeing, give me a thumbs up. And of course, I appreciate all your comments in the comment section. So, I decided today I wanted to fight the big troll, the big 10,000 hit point troll, or 11,000 hit point troll. I forget how many exactly, but it's a big one. And that's what we're going to do. And I've started the recording. I have not beat him yet, and so basically I'm going to fight him, and I'm going to record and record and record fighting him until I actually beat him. And when I have a successful attempt, then we'll edit the video down and have an actual video of me beating him. So that's kind of the plan. So we'll see. And if you're wondering where this guy is at, so he is up here in this top area of the map here, and you can get to there by next to Central Brittany. There's a boat that takes you to this little peninsula here. And when you get to this peninsula here, you actually want to come all the way down south here to Ravensmoor. So that's where we're at. We're outside of Ravensmoor here. And so we're going to go in here. Excuse me. And Ravensmoor itself is just a 3-skull area. But this troll clearly is far beyond a 3-skull as far as his level goes. So here we are, and the way we get to him, we're going to run through here. On an interesting side note, if you want some black pearl, there could be a lot of black pearl harvested from this area here. So of course we have skeletons are going to attack us. We're going to ignore them, and then get stunned, and ignore them some more. We're going to power on through here. And then we're going to hang out right here. And let's see, where do you want to go? Right down here. So a little right, and there's going to be this little path here. And actually, let's jump up here real quick. Okay, they're ignoring me. Good. So actually, the troll is actually out there in that little area here. So you're going to have to swim out to him. And so if you need to buff yourself up and stuff, you want to do it before you get out there. Because I don't think there's a spot where you get out there and stand out of his range without drawing his attention and getting yourself ready for it. So you want to get yourself ready for this fight before you head out there. So that means there's a nice little spot down here where the stuff will ignore you. So let's go down there. Right out here, this little spot of dirt, nothing will attack you out here. So you can kind of get yourself all buffed up and ready to go, and then you're going to swim out, at least I swim out around this way, and I'm going to come at them from this side here. So that's the plan. We'll see if I can actually pull this off. So obviously the first thing is pull out your whatever your pet is. In my case, is my water elemental here. And then I never hit up the devotionals today, so I'm lacking those, that strength and dexterity devotional, but I have my food I've eaten. So I have Bear Surprise, and I have Dragon Stew, so I have plenty of time left in those. 3 hours here and change, and 6 hours and change there. Or 6 hours, and 7 hours. 7 hours and change, there we go. So now we just have to hit up our other buff deck. And if you've seen some previous videos, you've seen my basically my combat build. I'm using the same one, but I'm actually going to make a change after I buff up here. And I'm going to show you what that change is and explain to you why I made this change. So, we want to get our 4 stacks here. So, start stacking. I think that one's 4. Any more? There we go. Yeah, that one's 4 for sure. And then these last 2 will give us. There we go. We're all buffed up, minus the devotionals. So let's go back to our combat deck. And I said I was going to make a change to this, and I got to thinking about this today. This is what I was using before, and I've actually been fighting them a few times, and I've lost, but I've kind of getting a feel for them and what I have to do to beat them. And so obviously we're not using Douse, so Douse needs to come off that. That's for the dragon, when you're fighting the dragon or the fire elemental. The rest of the stuff is staying here, but the one thing that got me thinking is fireflies here. So fireflies has a cooldown of 30 seconds, and it stays active for 1 minute, which tells me I don't need to have this as an unlocked card on my deck here. I only need I need to lock it down here, and then I need to remove the rest of these here. So basically what that does is I got my blind here, which will give me 45, it will reduce their damage avoidance and their dexterity, and then I got my fireflies, which increases their critical hit reduction. So those are both that I'm going to apply to the creature, and they both will come off cooldown before they actually expire, so there's no reason for me to keep them unlocked. And what that does is it frees up these things to land more frequently, and that was my biggest thing when I was fighting him before, is that I was needing something to shoot at him with, and this fireflies was coming up in the spot, so that it wasn't going to work. So here we go. That's the minor change I made for this guy. So we're done there, and let's see what we can make happen. I configured my thing a little bit differently. I moved my chat window over here, and I moved this over here, so this damage avoidance is more in my line of sight here. I wish I could take this off here completely, just put one big text thing right across here, says damage avoidance, that when it wears off is clearly in my face, gone. So that'd be nice. Alright, so let's see what we can make happen and how many times we have to fight him before we actually succeed. There's my element over there. And the approach is just like it is with all trolls. You want to jump when he jumps, and you want to kind of stay behind him as best you can. You want to stay close to him, because you don't want him to throw rocks. Those rocks will be a killer, and my inability to avoid jumps with the other trolls will actually be severely damaging for him, because he is a big boy. So that's something I got to see that. So there we go. That's his hit points. 11,300, and does that change? I don't know. Small text for me. But anyway, he's a big boy. So let's see what happens here. Damn it. And he's throwing another rock. Whatever. And I'm dead. Voila! First attempt. Failed. I've done better than that before. So, like I said, that'll be edited out. Or maybe I'll keep my first attempt in and then edit it out until I finally have the successful attempt. Fuck. I was so close to him. Ugh! Ugh! I think I'm getting the routine down, though. Alright, I finally got a successful attempt, a successful defeat of this 11,000 plus K troll, this big boss guy here. So I did it without my face being recorded on it, but so I'm going to do a voiceover here. And so I'm already fully buffed. I have my clothes, I have my food, and I have my devotionals, and I have my buff deck activated, and I have my pet out here. And so I go straight into him, and obviously you jump when he jumps, and I want to keep my damage avoidance up. And normally I run with my window open, but I started this fight without that window open, my stat sheet window. And about, I don't know, a quarter of the way through it or so, halfway through it, I actually realized that, and I needed to see that avoidance to see where it was at, and I opened it up. So basically right here, I'm just, my main goal is to avoid those kicks. So whenever he starts to do that, he does them in slow motion. So you have time, if you're watching for him, the jump, you have time to jump. And I've noticed that I jumped again. I can actually stay in front of him and wait till he starts to jump, and then run behind and swing the camera around, and stay in front of him until he starts to kick, and just run behind and swing around. And that I found that easier than trying to run around in circles and stuff. It allowed me to keep more control. And this is a long fight, about 20 minutes or so. And interesting side note. Today is Monday, the day I beat this, eclipse day, full solar eclipse day, and I actually defeated him while the eclipse is happening. In fact, as I was about 3/4 or more away from beating him, the eclipse hit full solar eclipse. I was watching it out my window, and then as the eclipse ended, I reached the end of the fight and actually beat him. So I'm gonna say thanks to the solar eclipse is how I beat him. If you're a suspicious guy, that was his bad luck. So I don't know. It was kind of cool watching the solar eclipse outside while I'm fighting this guy. So those stupid rocks. I thought if you stay close to him, he's not supposed to grab rocks, but whatever. He still grabbed a few rocks here and there, and those can be damaging, especially with him. It doesn't take a lot for him to knock you down and keep you down and take you out. He is strong and powerful. And one of the things I learned is that as long as my damage avoidance is up, I could take a hit or two, but if I slacked off and I didn't get my damage avoidance back up and active, I took a hit and it could be devastating for me. So, and I hate it when he comes around to the edge here, because I like to be able to move around him, but if I jump into the water, I de-aggro him and the fight starts over. And that was horrible. So I had to make sure I wasn't doing that. And that means I don't have a lot of room to maneuver here when he's up against the water like that. So there we are. And of course he kept confusing me. Like, there we go. He picked up a rock even though I'm right next to him, and he missed me there. Or maybe he was aiming for my pet, actually. I don't know. At one point she dies, my pet dies, and I had to pull her back out. But I didn't realize I was so focused on him. Yeah, keep jumping when he jumps though. And I actually, focus was a big thing. Oh, that was a big hit right there. That was a big hit. Obviously, I still haven't gotten my window open to watch my damage avoidance, though. Probably didn't have my damage avoidance active there, and that hit actually did something to me. And of course, there, once he gets you down to stunned, and he follows up, you're stunned, and it's hard to get away from those, so. And another rock. And that one he got me and stunned me, but I got back up and I'm off and running. And as you can see, my focus is getting kind of low. In fact, at one point I run out of focus completely, so I'm literally relying on the combat focus regeneration to build up enough focus to allow me to use my skills. And outside of that, my auto attacking has allowed me to continually do damage to him. And I still haven't opened up that stat window yet. Yeah, you definitely want to keep that stat window open so you can see your damage avoidance and whether you need to apply those or not. So 9,400 and change out of 11,360 is what he starts off at. So there we go. I get him in a routine every now and again where he'll jump, and I'll jump and run through his legs, and then that time he got me, but then he'll jump again, I'll jump and run through his legs, and oh, that was a big hit right there. And then my light I used to grandmaster, I had my light grandmastered, and it would stay on forever. And then I decided I wanted to apply some those points somewhere else, and so I actually untrained the light and redirected my skill points somewhere else. So now I think my light is at level 30 or so, and so it runs out at the most inopportune times. So right there, you see me, I'm in the dark, and I had to turn it back on. Just didn't feel natural fighting him in the dark. So there we go. He jumps, I run through his legs. He jumps, I run through his legs and jump. He jumps, I run through his legs and jump and spin around. And I wait for him to do something. Jump and run through his legs. So that you don't have to keep running around in circles. In fact, that threw me off doing that. Jump and run through his legs. At some point, he gets tired of this little game and he tries to do something else. Although it does make it now if you miss one of those jumps, which I missed a few, that can be devastating too for him. He hits hard, especially if you don't have your damage avoidance up. So you jump, run through his legs, and jump and run through his legs, and jump and run through his legs, You can see him get ready for the jump. And one thing I was doing is I was actually holding my jump key down, waiting for him to make the jump move, and then as he would jump, I would just release my jump key, which causes me to jump. And there we go. I finally opened up my stat window, realized I needed that up to see what that damage avoidance was. And I wasn't applying my blind as much as I probably should have with him, and my fireflies, those two debuffs for him. I probably should have used those more, in fact. But and that hit, I don't know where that hit came from. He was nowhere near me, but something, I don't know. Maybe it was a bug. And he jumps. And he jumps. A lot of jumping in this game with this guy. And he jumps. And jump. And run through his legs. And jump and run through his legs. We're playing leapfrog here. He's leaping over me and I'm running underneath him. So and jump. And jump. Now, I obviously I didn't realize it right now, but my pet at some point dies, and I realized that was some damage output that I was not fully getting because they were dead. I don't realize it here, but at some point I do, and I call her back, and that's also some healing with the water elemental that I wasn't getting. That would actually help out a lot. So some of this situational awareness of watching your debuffs and watching your damage and watching your pet. Yeah, I wasn't fully on top of the ball with those things because I was so focused on trying to get him beat. And the closer I got him to the end, the more nervous I was getting because I didn't want to get him down to 2,000 health and suddenly die. Spend 15 minutes fighting him and then get him to the end and then die. Which did. I have one of those attempts on this video already. So but we're at the halfway mark, almost at the halfway mark. And about right now, it's getting kind of dark outside thanks to that eclipse. And so see how he pulls back that swing? That you can actually stay in front of him. And as long as you're watching for the signs of where he's going to pull back the swing, or he's raising the foot to kick you, or he's getting ready to jump, there's plenty of telltale signs and opportunity to avoid those if you're watching for them. So bringing back the fist to swing at you, and that's a vicious hit. That'll actually hurt. Or the kick, stomping you in, or the jump. So now we're back to the leapfrog game, where he leaps over me and I run underneath him. And as you can see, my focus, I'm out of focus literally. So I'm just stacking stuff. The more you stack them, the less focus they require. So if I get enough stacks there, I can actually use these skills. So that's what I'm doing. I'm stacking them until I can actually use one. So there we go. I had 3 stacks of that rapid fire, so I was able to fire that off. And jump. And jump. Oh, yeah, I missed the jump or something there. I was trying to do something and I jumped and I interrupted it. You know what would be cool in this game if these really high-end guys didn't look identical to all the other guys that you fight, if there was a difference, variation in their appearance. Which means that maybe the body parts, like the heads that they drop, are actually unique for a very high-end troll. That would be cool. Maybe he's like a troll chieftain or something. So we're a little over 5,000 hit points now left on him. And we're playing our running through the legs game. Jumping, stacking those cards. And I'm about to get a 4 stack there, so fire that off. And I missed a lot of those. See that? That was horrible. Although my accuracy is 80%, or level 80, so maybe I just need a Grandmaster for that. And my light went out again. I need to build that light back up again. This keeps running out at the most inopportune times. And I still haven't realized my pet's dead. Which this fight probably wouldn't have taken as long if I had remembered that if I'd been watching for her and when she died, pull her back. And I keep referring to it as a her or a he, and it's probably neither, but whatever. And that hit, I don't know what that hit were, those hits. He literally didn't do anything to me, but I got hit. And there comes the rock, and he hit me, but he didn't knock me off my feet. And he pulls back that swing, and actually got hit, but it was a glancing blow there. And another swing, but this time I'm behind him, so he didn't get me. And jump. And jump. And jump. And jump. All right, we're starting to, right now I'm starting to feel good. I might actually beat him. And then another thing, I actually had food cooking too. I started this fight with some food cooking on the stove. Completely forgot I was cooking the food. And then about halfway into this fight, I'm thinking, well, fuck. I got this, I can smell the food, and it's cooking, and I know it's going to be burning here pretty soon. And I'm thinking, should I quit the fight and go check my food, or should I just screw the food and I'm going to fight and beat this guy? And I finally opted to screw the food, and I'm going to fight and beat this guy, and if the food burns, it burns. On the upside, it didn't burn. So, yep, I beat him in enough time that I was able to go get my food and not burn it. So, and about sometime around here, that actually window was in the wrong position. As I'm trying to swing the camera around, I kept grabbing the window, and finally moved it off to the side. So I'd recommend, if you have that window open, just keep it somewhere off to the side, out of your way. All right, under 4 grand now. We're rocking. We're cooking with Cristo here. And jump. So my next goal after this guy is the demon. I think I should be able to, with some practice and learn his moves, I might be able to be a solo that demon too. He's another 11,000 plus guy over in Solorna Catacombs or whatever. And that's another one of those invisible hits that I don't know where they come from. So I don't know how to avoid them. And that one actually knocked me down. But and those claps, you want to avoid those claps. Man, those will hurt. Like there, I got hit. Did I get hit? No. Maybe I did, but it was a glancing blow. And a jump. And a jump. And a jump. And jump. Oh, and a stomp. He tried to stomp me there. And another one of those invisible hits. And now here comes the rock. This is where I start to get a little worried, when I'm actually confused, and I'm far away from him like that. And I'm starting to worry that he's going to pull out a rock and smash me and stun me and then come up and stomp me and kill me. And jump. So we're under 3,000 left. And about this time I realized I haven't been using blind a lot. Or fireflies, so I figured I better start using those. So more of that situational awareness of what I have up and what I don't have up, and keeping it all active. And I'm stunned there, I think, which is why I didn't move, which he got me with that swipe. And that's what I was doing, so that's why I didn't move. I realized my pet was dead and I needed her back, so as I start to summon her, he pulls back the hand to swipe me, and I took the hit rather than not to cancel the summons. And as you can see, I almost die here. In fact, I got down to the 90s, 80s right there. I thought for sure I was dead there. And I'm running and running and thinking, no, no. But I managed to get those heals up, and I think my pet threw one my way once or twice. And once I got back into this jumping game, the leapfrog game, I was good to go. And then I made sure my damage avoidance was at 40, which is low, but it's better than nothing. So now I have control of it again. I started to lose control there for a minute, but I'm back in control now. And we're back to the leapfrog game. Now we're actually under 2,000 hit points. So now I'm starting to really get nervous because I've never had it this low before. So I'm thinking, God, I would hate to get down to like 20 hit points and all of a sudden I die. Taking deep breaths here, keep the calm, keep following the routine. Watching for the jumps, watching for the swipes, and the leg kicks and stuff, or the stomps. And it sure helps I was getting a full 60 frames a second on this fight at 1440p. So, you look at that stats up there at the top, my frame rate and stuff. So now I think I got stunned, which is how he was able to gain range on me like that. And then he hit me with the stone, and then he got a slap in there. But luckily I had some damage avoidance still going, so I was able to avoid some of that, mitigate some of the damage. Back to the jumping over me. Yeah, see, I do some little running around in a circle here because I saw that he was going to try to slap me and stuff, and I just, yeah, it's better just to stay in front of him, wait for him to try to do something and run straight through him like that, rather than try to play a running around circle game for me. But of course, a few times I found myself, you know, trying to get back in the position where I could do the running through the legs things, and I'd do some running around circles too, until I was able to get there. And jump. And jump. And I hate it when he gets over to these columns. I don't have a lot of room to maneuver. Especially if his back is against those columns. It's where am I going to run through to? You know? So try to lure him away from the column a little bit. There, you get away from there, bud. You don't need that. And about this time, I glance up at the hit points, and I realize he's about at 1,000. So now I'm thinking, oh, I might actually pull this off. And then I start thinking, oh shit, I better not mess up. This will suck. Especially that right now I just broke 1,000, so I'm under 1,000, less than 1,000 left to go on him. And see how I'm spinning my character on the stat window? That's when it starts to get in the way, because I'm starting to get nervous here. And I'm trying to avoid him, and I don't want to die just as I get him down to the end. And I get frustrated, and I had to drag it off to the side, get it out of my way. The thing was in my way there. And now I'm looking up, I'm at 700. I'm thinking, yes, we're going to get him. Yes. $600. And jump. And jump. We're at 400, 300, and I'm thinking, yes, and then I'm thinking, no, I don't need to die. Don't die. Don't die right now. This would absolutely suck. Horrible. I get stunned there, which really starts to make me nervous. And I'm thinking, no, get him, get him. And I get some hits. I take some hits there, and die, die, you bastard. and voila, he dies. So he was about to hit me with that rock too. So there we go. Successful attempt on this massive troll. What's his name? Torc'Drawl the Broken. Well, he's broken all right. And about this time I get up and go check my food because I realize that it's probably on the verge of being burnt. So I go check my food before I looted him. And then here in a moment, I'm going to come back and loot his corpse and see if we get anything good. I mean, you would expect a boss like that to drop something good. You spend 20 minutes fighting this guy. Wouldn't you want to get something decent out of all your time? So here we go. Let's see what we get. Good loot? Good loot? No. That's the exact same shit that those other guys drop. A few more obsidian chips maybe, but... Alright, so there you have it. A successful attempt at the massive troll with 11,300 or so hit points. So don't forget to subscribe. There's a subscribe button in the bottom of the screen. Click on that. Of course, I appreciate all your comments you give me in the comment section. Any feedback is greatly appreciated. And of course, if you like what you see, give me a thumbs up. So until next time, have a great day.